Welcome back. I am Captain Crazy,
And I'm Princess.
and this is our RWBY review for Volume 1, Chapter 10.
The last chapter in this volume. It's entitled Black and White, and if you are going by the online episodes, it's Chapter 16.
Yes, this is not a conclusion per se to the storyline of the first volume. It's more of a...
Resting spot.
Yes, a good resting spot would be a good description of it. It has a lot of action in this one, yet you still get
A lot of story as well.
more character development. So it's that balance that not every episode has. Some it's all action, all character building, and the good ones seem to do both. Or at least within the action you get the character building. But some of those fight scenes are awesome anyway.
Yes.
Those entire chapter... Oh wait, we haven't got to those yet. So this one is, again, Team RWBY looking for Blake, who is still missing.
She's having tea with Sun,
Monkey Boy.
who you thought was a cat.
Until you pointed out the banana, and then I was like, oh shit, it's a Monkey Boy!
How obvious can they make it? Banana?
Obviously, more obvious. Yes. So, Blake and Monkey Boy are having tea, and with only knowing this guy for like 2 days, she comes out and says, hey, I am a Faunus, and I was part of the White Fang.
He kind of suspected that she was a Faunus, though.
But, so?
The bow doesn't hide it as well for some people.
Yep. But after 2 days, I was part of the White Fang. You know, months with the rest of Team RWBY and not a word, not an inkling, nothing. But 2 days. That's it.
You find out her involvement with White Fang, how it first started off as a very peaceful organization, actually just, trying to get more respect and equal treatment, but through far more calm means. Then, according to Blake, 5 years ago, they replaced the leader of the group, and that's when they started going for more violent ways to get their message across.
They changed in their picket signs for...
Pitchforks.
Yeah. Battle axes, swords, guns, whatever they could get their hands on, and did coordinated attacks. So that's when the actual terrorism of that organization started. So new leader, new philosophy, and it just kind of escalated quickly.
Yes.
Versus before, it was literally peaceful protests and boycotts and, just that kind of general things to try to peacefully come up with a solution.
Better solution.
Exactly. So while Blake is talking to Monkey Boy, Monkey Boy believes that this is the White Fang's doing, and these robberies and whatnot are of the White Fang's doing, and Blake doesn't want to believe it. And so the only way to prove that is to be somewhere that has the opportunity and find out who is robbing them. And
so Sun knows that there is a giant shipment of dust that arrived on the ship that he came on. And so they decide to camp that out and see if anything will happen and see who will take the dust.
Yep. So while they're waiting, they notice a ship come flying in, and out pops members of the White Fang, which doesn't make sense to Blake because they're with Torchwick.
Who is a human, not a Faunus.
And for the White Fang to be dealing with a human...
A known criminal.
Well, not even a known criminal, just a human, is not like the White Fang, especially the new White Fang that is very rawr. So Yes, and so she goes down and tries to hold Torchwich hostage, and asks her fellow members of the White Fang, brothers of the White Fang, meaning that she would be a sister. So she still, in some capacity of her brain, identifies with the White Fang, and asks them why they would be
Working with him.
working with him exactly. And to which Torchwick goes, "Didn't you miss the memo? You know, this is we're kind of in league with each other right now." And she goes, "Well, let's put an end to this little operation," in which a whole bunch more ships show up and more members of the White Fang.
And it's not so little of an operation.
No, fairly large scale. They highly planned, obviously, and Torchwick then shoots the ground by their feet to get Blake away from him, and then starts firing. To which Team RWBY and Penny see Penny. Oh wait.
Just Ruby and Penny, who were together searching for Blake, while Weiss and Yang were off, I guess, in a completely opposite direction, because once Torchwick starts firing, there's a big puff of smoke, and that's where Ruby and Penny decide to investigate.
Yep. And they get to it, and they see the firing, and then Torchwick sees Ruby.
Start shooting at her.
Ruby gets hit while trying to make sure that Penny stays away from the battle because it's going to be dangerous, and while she's trying to do that, he gets blasted right in the chest by Torchwick.
And then Penny sees her new bestie get hurt, so she must come to the rescue, and Penny is badass.
Oh, she bomb bad.
I love her weapons and her fighting style. It's just... yeah.
Bomb bad.
Exactly. So Penny starts kicking ass.
Yep. So she has a whole bunch of blades that all appear to be on strings, and they can fling out and drag her back quickly so that she can move quite maneuverably. They can fly in and attach to things. They can slice through things.
She does like a domino effect at one point. It's great.
Bowling pins.
Bowling pins. Okay, that works too.
Not dominoes. They all went poof. Not...
Okay. Bowling pins.
Bowling pins. So she starts just ripping through the White Fang. And at one point, the swords start doing this spinning thing and creates this giant gun. And she literally slices 2 ships clean in half. And they go flying. And
Ruby just like... oh,
the
holy shit.
crap. She is combat ready. So she basically takes out most of the White Fang's troops, and then Torchwick and the rest of the remaining troops that are left fly away.
And then the police finally come.
Yeah. You know, the giant explosions everywhere. No, that's they show up after the fact, and, you know, Penny gets into a car, a black-tinted vehicle, and is basically told, "Why would you do that?
Your time will come."
Your time will come." RWBY and the rest of them get, I guess, interrogated by the police to find out what happened.
And finally, Yang and Weiss come back and meet up with Blake and Ruby.
And Blake tries to explain herself to Weiss, and Weiss just goes, "I've had 12 hours to think about it. I don't care. I don't care. You know, you say you're not part of them anymore, then okay, well, just pretend none of that exists. I don't care that you were part of the White Fang. I don't care that you're a Faunus. You're part of the team, basically. Let's just move on and pretend like none of that happened." And she still doesn't know what to think about Monkey Boy.
Nope.
Oh, we missed the Monkey Boy fighting.
Ah, yes.
Monkey Boy fought, and he is like Monkey King. Full-on Monkey King. Like Kung Fu, full-on quarterstaff that breaks into like nunchuck gun thingies. But, oh yeah. Like Monkey King completely.
You love the quarterstaff, though.
Well, he's like young Goku, who is based off of Monkey King. Or the Monkey Kingdom. Something like that. It's one of the old animes.
If you say so.
Or books. I can't remember. Damn it.
We didn't talk about Blake fighting. So, during the fight too, you also get to see part of Blake's semblance. You see at times where there's a bit of a shadow that she leaves behind.
Almost like an after image.
Almost like an after image. So that Torchwick hits that instead of hitting her.
So the only other thing to really happen is the headmaster,
who again is overseeing everything,
gets a message from Crow, which we don't know yet, and gets the message, the queens have the pawns, or the queen has pawns.
Again, referring to chess pieces, and there's that referral back.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, like we said, not a conclusion to the storyline. It's more of a expanding cliffhanger-y, not really cliffhanger, but the leaving you wanting more, definitely.
Yes, for sure.
End to the volume, in which we have to wait then till Volume 2, Chapter 1. Luckily, we're doing this
After
retrospect, where we've still got a few more volumes to go before we've run out of content, yeah. But luckily, new content's just about to start. We're very excited for that. So this is the last RWBY review for
Volume 1.
Yes!
We didn't call it a season!
Well, now you just are gonna jinx it in the next 30 seconds. We're gonna bugger it up. At least I don't think so. So, final comments?
It's a great introduction volume. It introduces you to the different fighting styles, the characters. Just mainly an introduction volume is pretty much what it is. And I love Penny. I think she has a unique fighting style. I love her weapons. And she's funny. Just, I'm combat ready.
Oh, she's
Salutations.
strong.
And she's strong. I think she's stronger than Nora. The one scene she's there, like, pulling one of the airships, just like...
Remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
your thoughts?
I already gave my thoughts.
Of the conclusion of the final volume.
The volume as a whole.
The volume as a whole, sure, we'll go for that. That's what I did, so that's what you get to do now.
Like you said, very much introduction. A big introduction to all of the characters. Each chapter just kind of, or each pair of chapters is better put, focused on different characters, so that we could learn a little bit about them all in a row. I find it curious though that in this first volume, Jan was the only non-team RWBY person that got his own character arc.
And even Yang didn't get a character arc, and she was part of Team RWBY.
And Yang didn't get, exactly. So I find that a little odd. Now Yang is just kind of left out of the first volume. She's there, but other than that, we know that she's a badass and that she's RWBY's sister. We don't get anything for her. She doesn't really do much. She's not part of most of the battles after the initial battle with the scorpion and the bird. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to wait for season 2, or damn it, I told you you'd jinx it, till volume 2 and volume 3 before we start getting any more in depth on Yang. Other than that, you can see that it has a lot of potential from this first volume, mm-hmm. and that even from the first episode to the last chapter, there is a increase in the animation the animation quality is actually increasing as the volumes go along, or the chapters go along. Not so much for chapter 1, because it was the pilot, so a lot of attention was put on it. But you can see chapter 2, where it didn't quite have that same level, and we're slowly starting to rise back to that level of animation. My guess is because it was popular, and therefore they were more comfortable pumping more time and resources into making the later chapters better, because it showed that people were actually interested in it and they could make money off of it. And with that, that's basically the end of our review. Great first volume, and we look forward to reviewing volumes 2 and 3.
And 4.
And 4 starting this Saturday. So until then, I am Captain Crazy.
And I'm Princess.
And ta-ta for now.